Okay, thank you for joining me, everyone. My name is Roxanne Marmion, and I am joined today by my colleague, Tim Hoagie. Tim Hoagie is going to be available to answer any questions you have throughout this demonstration. So if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section through Zoom, and he can answer any questions that you have. So today's monthly webinar, the focus of today's webinar is researching international relations with a focus on two of our HeinOnline databases, the World Constitutions database and the Foreign and International Law Resources database. So we're gonna give an overview of both of those databases, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show how we can utilize additional HeinOnline databases. Right. Everybody sees my screen. There we go. Okay. So again, my name is Roxanne and I'm joined by Tim today. I'm sure many of you recognize Steve Roses from additional webinars that we host. So first, before we get into the focus of today's webinar, I just want to give a brief introduction to HeinOnline. I know on these webinars we get both existing customers, customers who have subscribed for years, as well as those that are new to HeinOnline. Maybe you just started a trial to HeinOnline, or you just wanted to join today to get an overview of what HeinOnline is all about. So I always like to provide a quick overview before we get started. So HeinOnline is a multidisciplinary database. We cover over 1,500 research topics and 40 academic subjects. So some of these would include, of course, international relations, history, political science, criminal justice, religious studies, medicine are just a few of the topics that we cover in HeinOnline. We have over 100 different databases available across 200 million pages of content. A couple of the key features of HeinOnline, notable features of HeinOnline, everything's in PDF image-based format. So it's like you have an entire library of books in an easy to use online searchable database. All content's available from the earliest volumes. So we have historic content, nearly all content's available from the earliest volumes. Historic content that you're not going to be able to find elsewhere online often. So it's just a quick introduction about HeinOnline. So now what I want to do is start discussing the first database that we're focusing on today, the Foreign and International Law Resources database. You might also hear me refer to that as FILRD, abbreviated. This database has over 1,000 titles and 2.8 million pages of content. So to explain, the Foreign and International Law Resources database, your institution may have access to this already if you're a subscriber to HeinOnline International Core. So that is the core package that this would be included in. If you're subscribed to HeinOnline Academic Core or another core package, you can add this on as an optional a la carte. And we are offering a 10% first year discount through March 15th. So if you're interested in a trial or more information, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'd be happy to set that up for you. So to discuss this database, I actually want to go right into HeinOnline. So I'm switching over to HeinOnline here. So what we're looking at now is the HeinOnline welcome page. So if you're familiar with HeinOnline, you're very familiar with this page. When you log in, this is what you're going to see. This is going to be all your subscribed content. From the menu here, I'm just going to select the Foreign and International Law Resources database. So now what we're looking at is the FILRD homepage. And I just want to quickly run through the content that's available in this database. A couple ways to browse. So you can browse all titles in the database. You can see there's over 1,300 titles listed here. So you can browse by subject area. I have it pulled up by subject here. So if you want to just see the different subject areas covered and you want to focus on a particular subject and see all the publications that we have for that subject, you can just click a subject and see all the relevant publications. And then we also have the content broken down into different sections. So you can see the first section we see here, part 1, international yearbooks and periodicals. So we can see that we have 2 different sections for international yearbooks. We have, in part 2, we have the Brill publisher yearbooks and periodicals. So those are all the Brill published materials. So those would overlap with this main yearbook section as well. So in addition, in part 1, in addition to the Brill yearbooks, you're going to have yearbooks from other international publishers. You're going to have yearbooks published by different law schools. We'll just take a quick look here. So I'm just going to pull up the list of yearbooks here. Okay, so you can see a list of all 93 yearbooks we have: African Yearbook of International Law, American Society of International Law Proceedings, Asian Yearbook of International Law, Australian Yearbook of International Law. So you can just see the various publications here that we have available. Now, if you're looking, let's say we're looking at a yearbook and you want to know what our coverage is, and this goes for any title in HeinOnline. This could be a journal as well. So if you're ever looking at the list of law journals or at a yearbook and you want to know how current our content is, you can always click on this blue More Information circle. When we click this link, this is going to give you some information about the title. You're going to see who the publisher is. And in this case, it's a Brill published yearbook. And then as we scroll down here, you're going to see what the embargo period is. So we have a 3-year embargo here, and we actually have a contract with Brill that we do have an optional a la carte where you can subscribe to the current content of their yearbooks. So every title, every journal, every yearbook varies depending on our contract with the publisher. So if you are ever curious what that contract is or how current our content is, you can just always click on this blue More Information circle to find out that information. Okay, part 3, U.S. Law Digest. So really a digest is essentially an index to case law. A key component in here is going to be the Digest of United States Practice in International Law. That would be available in the U.S. Law Digest section. International tribunals and judicial decisions. We have over 93 titles in here. This is going to include the Hague Permanent Court of International Justice series. So we have some of their publications are going to be available in the International Tribunal section here. Other significant titles, so this is going to be additional books and works and references to international relations, international law. So again, if you're curious about all the titles in here, I would highly recommend browsing all titles, browsing by subject area, and then you can see a list of everything relevant to the type of research that you're focused on. The Court of Justice of European Communities, so we're going to have some of their publications are going to be available in this database. And then the International Human Rights Law Institute. So they conduct research on human rights and rule of law. They do training and advocacy. Some of the focus areas are going to include post-conflict justice, human rights documentation, gender rights, human trafficking are all subject areas they're going to cover. So we're going to have their publications are going to be available under part 7 here. And as always, LibGuide, very helpful. If you have any questions about the database and you want more information, the LibGuide is very helpful. So you can click the LibGuide links, a direct link here. All right, so let's go back here. All right, the next database that we're going to discuss today, the World Constitutions Illustrated Database. So if you are a subscriber to several of our academic core packages, so that would be International Core, Academic Core Collection, you're going to have access to the World Constitutions Illustrated Database already. So if you're a subscriber and you have one of those packages, from the A to Z listing on the welcome page, you'll see the World Constitutions Illustrated Database listed. We have over 7,000 titles and over 5 million pages of content. We're continuously updating this database to add current constitutions, relevant articles, books are constantly being added to the World Constitutions Illustrated database. Comprehensive, one of the most comprehensive databases for constitutional research. We're going to have current constitutions for every country, constitutional histories and related documents. We have a section of classic books, you know, Aristotle, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Paine, many more authors. And then links to scholarly articles. So the links to scholarly articles, that's going to be handpicked articles from the Law Journal Library focused on constitutional research. So our editors will go out and find these articles and then they'll link to them in the scholarly article section. So what I want to do now, I'm actually going to, I want to go into the World Constitutions Illustrated database and just show a couple examples of how we can search across the constitutional material and how you can select a country and see all the relevant material there. So let's start by, let's say we're doing some research on freedom of speech and we just want to see relevant content using those keywords, freedom of speech. So what we can do here, a couple of ways we can search. If there's a particular country you're focused on, you can at any time you can just select that country. So let's just take a look here. Let's select South Africa here. So when we select the country, you're going to see all relevant documents. You're going to see all the constitutions, constitutional history, amendments, amending laws, consolidated text are all going to be available in here. See, we date back to as far as 1877. The scholarly articles section. So you're going to have scholarly articles specific to constitutional law for South Africa linked here. A bibliography section as well. So that's one way you can search for a particular country, or if you want to search across all constitutional material from this one box search. So when you're in a database and you utilize this one box search, when you run a search here, it's going to search across only the database that you're in at the moment. So right now, if I run a search here, I'm going to only be searching across constitutions, World Constitutions database. So from here, I want to select advanced search. I'm going to select advanced search so that we can see the different metadata fields we have available. So when I click on the drop down here, you can see that I can search across the full text, which would be across all documents in this database, or I can search across just the constitutions. So if I want to search the constitutional text, or if I want to focus on books, you can search across the original language of the document. But for this example, I'm going to search constitutions and I'm going to search text. I am going to search freedom of speech. And I am going to put it in quotes. If you put it in quotes, it'll just get you the more relevant content. If we leave the quotes out, then it's going to search freedom or speech. And then I'm going to search or, and then I'm also going to search across the constitutional text for freedom of expression, as it is often always also referred to. So it's going to search the full text of constitutional text for freedom of speech or freedom of expression. I'll just leave it at all document types in all countries, but you can see here how you can filter by a specific country when you're running your search. You can also narrow it by year. There's a particular date range you're looking at. So I'll run my search here. And then once I get my search results, you can see I have 22,000 results. From here, to narrow it down, we can use our facets on the left-hand side of the screen. You can narrow it by date, document type, section type, or country concerning. So again, let's say, we're looking at South Africa. So let's just click here, South Africa, and then we'll only see those 142 documents, relevant documents. So it'll just be a lot more manageable to look through those results as compared to 23,000 results. You can see here how I'm filtering it down, and it'll show just those, just loading those 142 results now. And then you can see all the different ways that you can sort your results, and you'll see this sort by options. You'll see these on whenever you run a search in HeinOnline, you're going to see these same sort by options. Relevance, volume date, document title. If you want to search within the results, you can use this down arrow and you can actually put in an additional search term. And so now we are seeing the 142 results. So as we scroll through here, you can see the different documents. For document types, I'm going to select just constitutional documents. So now I'm only looking at the 66 constitutional documents. You can see here we got a document from 1983 amended by Acts 2, 3, 13, and 24. The bilingual text of the Constitution from 1933. So you can see all the relevant, and you can see where we highlight. The search term will always be highlighted in your search results. So you can quickly scroll through your results and see, to find the relevant article or document that you're looking for. All right, going back to the home page here. So again, another way you can run a search, if there's a specific country you're focused on, we can always go to the list of countries, select that country, and then run a search that way. So let's say for this example, we're going to take a look at Ghana. So I'm going to select Ghana from the list. From the tabs here, you're going to see one tab that says search documents on this country. So I'm going to click the link there. And then again, you get the same full text search boxes. Let's say we're researching, I'm going to search constitutional text for dual citizenship. So let's just see if there's anything relevant for a constitutional right to dual citizenship. So now it's searching across only the country Ghana, and it's searching for the phrase dual citizenship. And you can see here we have 6 search results. We've got the original constitutional text from 1969. We have the original text of 1979, and then 1992. There's amendment here from 1992 as well. Okay, so I just want to give a quick overview of how you can search within the Constitution's database to find relevant material. But now what I want to do is I want to show how you can actually, in addition to these 2 databases focused on international relations, you're going to find tens of hundreds of thousands of relevant articles and documents, just overall in HeinOnline. The Law Journal Library alone, I'll show you how you can see all relevant articles on international relations. So what I want to do next is I'm going to go back to the HeinOnline homepage here, the welcome screen. And I want to show how you can use all subscribed content, how you can search across all HeinOnline databases to find relevant on-point material. So you're going to see the same one-box search here. Again, you can search here. You can search retrieve a document by citation using this one-box search. You can pull up a catalog search, searching across MARC records. You can do a full text search. So let's say you do have a citation and you come to HeinOnline. You can just start typing in your citation. And then from the dropdown, you're going to select citation. And once you select citation, it'll retrieve that document for you. Let's say there's a catalog. Let's say there's a journal article or a journal you're looking for. Does HeinOnline have the Harvard Law Review? So I can type in Harvard Law Review here, select from the catalog dropdown, and that's going to search across MARC records for a publication title. Now, in this case, I'm going to do a full text search across all subscribed content. So to do a general full text search, when you put in your search terms, you're just going to select just search for, and I'm going to search, in this search, I'm going to do search for overfishing. And then I'm going to select just search for. On the right-hand side, you can see here how you can narrow it by specific databases. So I don't know if everyone can see where I clicked here, narrow it by databases, and you can see how you can select specific databases. If you're only focused on journals or you want to search just the international content, you can select from here. In this case, I'm going to search across all subscribed content. Another quick thing I want to point out here You'll see under the one box search, you're going to see search help. When I click here, this is going to give you a list of all of our search syntax guide. It's going to give you all of our Boolean operators. It's going to give examples of how to do searches, such as a proximity search in HeinOnline. So I find this a very helpful guide if you're newer to HeinOnline searching and you're going to try out our Boolean searching. I highly recommend taking a look at that search help guide. All right, so I just ran a search for the term overfishing. You can see here we have 5,800 results, over 5,800 results. From here, again, I can use my facets to refine my search. You're going to see a few additional facets here. You can by collection or library. So if you are just looking at the foreign and international database or the journals, you can narrow it down. Pathfinder subjects. So this is using artificial intelligence. We have identified these specific Pathfinder subjects. So that way you can narrow it even further down. So if there's a particular subject area you're looking at, environmental law, law of the sea, and you want to see only the relevant documents for that subject, you can select from here a specific subject to narrow down results. Section type, location. Is there a particular location that you're focused on? Let's say I am focused on the Pacific. I can just narrow it down to Pacific. You can narrow it down by location, organization, and then person, and then availability would be if we have it available in full text. From here, so if you want to narrow down your results, you can always search within using this down arrow to put in an additional keyword. So for this example, I'm going to search within, and I'm going to search the full text, and you can see how we get the advanced search box will appear here. I'm going to search within, and I'm going to put depleted fisheries. So I'm going to search for the phrase depleted fisheries, just to narrow down my search more. So what that did is it searched across only those 5,800 results for this additional keyword, depleted fisheries. From our search results page, a couple ways you can sort. We can sort by, it defaults to relevance, but you can also sort by number of times cited by articles. This is part of what we call Scholar Check. There's a lot of great features in HeinOnline tied to the Scholar Check tool that we have. You can see the number of times cited by articles. What are other people citing to? If a lot of other people have cited this article, it might be beneficial for me to take a look at that article. Number of times accessed. Who's reading this article? What are people in HeinOnline reading? We can sort by number of times accessed, and we can see the most read articles. This first article here from Duke Environmental Law and Policy Journal has been accessed 253 times in the last 12 months, and that's all HeinOnline researchers. So 253 times, we might, want to take a look at it if that many people have read it. Again, in the most cited, if something's been cited by 100 other articles, it might be something that we'd want to take a look at. This first article here has been cited by over 612 articles. Another thing we can do to dig even deeper into our research, we can actually click the link here, and this will show us the 612 articles. So just another way to keep diving further into your research here. So now we see the list of those 613 articles. Okay, to quickly download a document, if you want to quickly download a document, you can use the PDF icon here. This download PDF, that'll automatically download the section of the document you're on. In the journals, a section is an article. You can custom download. If you want to quickly email the document to someone, click the email link here. So we're going to click email. You can email this. You select your citation format. You can email it up to 10 different people. What this is going to email, it's going to email a link to the PDF. The person you're emailing this to, this is a really nice feature of this tool here. They do not have to be accessing HeinOnline at the time to be able to click that link and open that document. They have 7 days to open that PDF using that link. So just a really quick and easy way to send a document to someone using that envelope icon here. And then bookmarking, that's part of My Hein. I highly recommend, if you are a subscriber to HeinOnline, to take a look at the My Hein resources. On the top right-hand corner here, My Hein profile. What is My Hein? Very helpful. You can create ETOC alerts. You get notified when current content comes out in HeinOnline. You can bookmark searches so that you get notified when matching results are released for that particular search. So definitely highly recommend taking a look at My Hein. So real quick here, I just want to show one more search example here and how when I do subject searching in HeinOnline, I like to use proximity searching. With our proximity searching, you can put in any keyword relevant to your subject search, put that in quotes, and then you can search them within a proximity of each other. And what that does is it'll give you the most relevant on-point material for your search. So let's say you just are doing a search for keywords in and. What that'll do is it'll search for those keywords anywhere in a document, anywhere one keyword could appear on page 1 and one keyword could appear on page 200 of the document. So with using that proximity searching, you can just make sure all your keywords appear close together in your search. So in this search, I'm going to search, I'm doing research on oil transport between Europe and Africa. So I'm going to put my keywords oil, Europe, Africa. I'm going to say within 100. So I'm asking the search to look for these keywords within 100 of each other in a document. And then I'm going to look for all forms of transport. So transportation, transport. So I'm going to use the wildcard search here, and that'll search for any form of that word and run my search. And so what I'm going to get here is oil, Europe, and Africa within 100 of a document, and then as well as any form of the word transport has to also be included in that search result. You can see here we have over 2,000 results. And scroll through our results here till we find the most relevant on point. So just another way to conduct a subject search in HeinOnline. All right, so the next thing I want to do real quick, I know we're running out of time here. I'm going to go into the Law Journal library because I just want to show how you can use our new Pathfinder tool to find all on-point relevant articles for a particular subject area. So Pathfinder, we used human curation and artificial intelligence to subject code every single article in the Law Journal library. So hundreds of thousands of articles are now subject coded. So from the Law Journal library homepage, landing page, I'm going to click on Pathfinder subjects. And then once we get to the Pathfinder subject section, you're going to see there's two different ways to browse Pathfinder subjects. You can browse by a list of subjects, or we also have a graph view that you can, so a graphical display or a text view. I'm going to use the text view, and I'm going to look for all articles we have on international relations. So under humanities, I'm going to click on international relations, and that's going to provide me with a list of every article in HeinOnline focused on international relations. We have over 476,000 articles in the Law Journal library, subject coded under international relations. And you can see here from when you expand the list, how you can dive even deeper into the research, like in specific topics, foreign affairs, international agencies, international commerce. What we can also do here, so we're looking at our 476,000 results, we can search within. So if you want to search across just the articles in HeinOnline focused on international relations, we can search within here. And then we can run a search for, let's do a search for European Union. And we'll search trade, and then we're going to search for the keyword ISO certification. So we're just doing some research on the European Union trade policies with regards to ISO certification here. And you can see now we're looking at 45 different results here. So just another way to search across journal articles, relevant journal articles. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I think we're running out of time. So if you have any questions, I am going to open it up to questions. I'm going to jump back to the PowerPoint here real quick. If you are not a subscriber and you're interested in a trial, we can provide 3-month campus-wide trials to HeinOnline by IP and proxy authentication. We have live chat and phone support available. We have a knowledge base with various training resources, training guides, training videos, and much more. So I'm going to open it up now to questions. So if anyone has a question, I'll take a look right now at the Q&A section. Oh. And it looks like Tim has answered the 2 questions that are in here. And at the end, I also just, if everyone could just take one moment, we have just a very brief, quick survey at the end. So once I end this webinar, the survey will appear. So if you wouldn't mind taking a moment to fill out that survey for us, we'd really appreciate that to get feedback for future webinars. So I'm just gonna wait just one more moment to see if we have any questions. And again, thank you everybody so much for joining us today for the webinar. We hope that this was beneficial and useful for your research. And if you think of any questions after the webinar, please feel free to email us. My email, I'll put my email in the chat here, as well as Tim's. So if you have any questions after, please feel free to ask. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. And I am going to go ahead and end the webinar, and then we'd appreciate everyone taking that quick survey. Thank you.